Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how you can handle crouch idle states. So in the game animation sample project, we have the crouch idle animations. It is split between two types of crouch idles. So one is crouch idle loop and the another one is crouch idle breaks. In the previous tutorial, you can check out how you can implement crouching and sprinting with the custom character with motion matching. So here I have the Shinbi character from the Paragon, and we can sprint, we can walk, we can crouch. Also, we implemented a first person camera with some post processing effects. So you can check that out in my previous tutorial. So in this tutorial, coming back, uh, we need to implement different types of crouches animation, crouch idle animations. So coming back, when I press C, you will notice that we are stuck in one looped animation of crouching, which is true. If I check inside my crouch database, which where you can find in characters, UEFN mannequin, animation, motion matching data, and here you'll find all the schemas. Here we have the databases. So we have the crouch databases over here. So we have the crouch idles. We are interested in crouch idles over here. You will find that we did add all the breaks animation and a loop animation. So if I just zoom in to show you what is happening in the break animation, you will see that we have different animations over here just to give a more natural look, right? But what we are getting is this loop animation, and it is stuck to this animation. Why? You will notice that it has been set to looping. So if it is set to looping, that means any other animation will not be switched directly. So what if I just turn off looping of this crouch idle loop animation? Let's see what happens. Also, let us just quickly go over here in the dense database, and I'll just put it to the right. So coming back to the sandbox character, so when I press C, crouch idles is selected, right? And if I click on edit, you see it is getting data from the crouch idle animations just through here. So you will find that now sometimes the break animation gets stuck to one animation and it will repeatedly do that animation. And here you will find that all the animations are running in the loop. So break 1, break 2, break 3, break 4 loop, then break 1, break 2, break 3, break 4 loop. So that is what is happening currently. So we don't want this to happen. We want it to look more natural. So as I was saying, it was stuck in one looped animation. So how can we solve this? So what I found, so there might be multiple ways to get to the solution, but I found this way a little bit more comfortable for me. But if in future, if I find a much efficient way, of course I will share it with you. So what I thought is we can separate these break animations and this loop animation. So what we will do is I'll create a duplicate of this database, right? Underscore, let us rename this as breaks, right? And inside the breaks database, I'll delete the loop from here. All right. And in the normal idle, I'll delete all the breaks. Now you need to make sure that the loop animation is not set to looping and the break animations are also not set to looping, right? So if you want to set it to change the looping, you can set the loop yes or true or false through here inside the animation. All right, so now what we need to do is let's go here inside our crouch idles. So here we will add a new nested chooser. All right, so coming back over here inside our chooser table, I will choose a new nested chooser, let's rename this as crouch idle breaks. Alright, so when we go inside, here we will add both of them. One of is the crouch idles and the another one crouch idle breaks. So add a new asset row and normal idles, another one, and idle breaks. Both of them are here. Now what we need to do is randomly you need to decide, I just want this to make it look more natural as possible. So sometimes I want it to be in the idles and automatically switch to idle breaks and go back and forth basically. So if you click on add column, you will find randomize column option, which I found pretty interesting. If you set this to 1, that means it is 100% possibility that this will get selected, and this also has more probability. So you can just play with these values to find which you are comfortable with. So one thing I want to mention, just make sure that the crouch idle loop is not set to not loop, because for example if it is set to loop, you will see what happens. Let me just put it right here. I press play, press C. So currently what is happening, you can see the arrow over here is switching back and forth randomly, and you will find that no idle breaks animation is currently working. And why? Because the crouch idle loop animation is set to loop, so it will never end of that loop, hence it will never get to crouch idle break animations, right? So basically you just have to turn off the looping of the idle loop, and now I press play, I press C, so it will randomly choose from idle, and it will choose idle breaks as well. Now you need to play with the probability over here to randomize. So I would like to set this to 0.4, I will set this to 0.6. Alright, so if you set it to 0, then this will never be selected. If I press C now it will randomly iterate between the animations. I hope I saved, yep, the crouch idle. So now it has done one break animation. Now it is back to the crouch idle animation. It will randomly select the animations, as you can see. I can increase the probability of the break animations. So for example, I can set this to 0.8. So just play with the values and you find a comfortable value for the animations, and you can just see how it will switch to the break animations anytime. So if I'm walking and then it stops, and it should play a break animation, yep, just like that. So it is randomly switching between the idle and the idle breaks databases, right? So that is how this is the one of the way how you can implement this kind of idle breaks. I am sure that there will be more ways to get to this point. So of course it will work in all the characters, because we are changing in a main chooser table. So as you can see, sometimes if you find some animations are repeating, you can play with the probability values over here, and that would just work fine. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Please let me know what else would you like to see with motion matching and this game animation sample project, or if anything else Unreal related would you like to see custom made? uh, you can check out my previous tutorial. I will add this to the playlist. I have tutorial about explaining how motion matching works, about how you can add these custom characters with attack animations, with crouching and sprinting. In the future tutorial, I'm planning to actually make an explanation video on how these traversal are working. It is based on splines, so we'll make an explanation video and we'll work on how you can add custom traversal objects. So thank you so much for watching. See you later.